Hi, so my name's Jed. I love coming back and speaking at Vanguard. There's nothing easier for me to brag on than my time here. I'm very surprised Bill keeps letting me come back and speak. Every time I get up here, I seem to make a joke about Bill, and somehow he keeps letting me back. No, so I'm going to take tonight off. But if you want some good Bill stories, just come find me later. So Bill asked me here to kind of talk about how Vanguard helped prepare me for college, and then looking back, what I'm thankful of for my time at Vanguard. And I was watching a show about this inventor named Charles Kettering a couple months ago, and he's kind of a tinker. He spent a lot of time at GM helping perfect what we now know as the automobile. And the favorite quote from this show, he said, "High achievement always takes place in the framework of high expectation." So I'll repeat that. High achievement takes place in the framework of high expectation. And so when Bill asked me to come speak, that quote came back to me as that is exactly what I think of when I think of Vanguard. I think of high expectations. And I think of that for not only the students, but for the staff, the faculty. In fact, when I was coming onto the board, I met with Mike one-on-one, and in true Vanguard fashion, I walked into the meeting and he delivered my 3-ring binder of homework that I have to read before the next meeting. So there are high expectations on everyone here, and I think the impact of that is that, looking around you, you are brought up by the people around you. If there's something that you're struggling with, you look to your left or your right, and someone is striving to be great and striving to help you come along. I'll tell you a quick story about my college roommate. I think in the vein of preparation, and this is one of my very best friends to this day. He went to a large school in East Texas. He was the valedictorian of his high school. His SAT scores were over 100 points higher than mine. So by all measurable statistics, he was the smarter, more prepared person for college than I was. And he's now moved on. He's taught in TFA, and he's now an assistant principal in DISD. So he's seen great success as a professional as well. But I remember that first semester, and Miss Johns and Miss Marshall and Miss Leslie, they would all love to hear this. But specifically, in the classes that we overlapped in were both chemistry and calculus. And we both took AP chemistry and calculus in high school, him at his school, me here at Vanguard. And I had such an easier time. By the end of the semester, my scores in those classes were over a grade point higher, A to B higher than his were. It had nothing to do with my intelligence versus his. He was clearly more prepared statistically than I was for college. But it's something about Vanguard. It's this expectation and the bar that was set for me on what does it take to succeed. And when I set a goal, if I want to get an A in a class or I want to get a B in a class, what am I asking myself to do that? And does that transfer when I leave Vanguard? And I think, to me, that is a very, very clear example of how well that transferred for me. And so I'll talk about kind of 3 things that I think Vanguard, when I say high expectations, where I see that. And I think that's around academics. I think that's around the culture and the small environment. And then I think that's around integrity and kind of the students' future leaving Vanguard and what they take with them when they go. Bill and I were talking in his office a couple months back, and he said a quote that I don't think he meant for me to remember, but it was, being intentionally mediocre at Vanguard is not acceptable. And he said it with such vigor and such, meaning behind it. He really does believe that, and I think anyone that works with Bill and works with the staff and faculty here, that's just not accepted. If you're not great at something, if you're not excelling, if you're struggling, that is certainly okay, and you're going to be helped. But being intentionally mediocre is not okay here. And so on the academic standpoint, what is high expectations? What did that look like for me as a student at Vanguard? Not only did it mean knowing what it took to get the grade I wanted, but it means coming to class on time. It means looking teachers in the eye when they ask you a question. It means not talking to other students or disrupting other kids' learning. And I know things I'm saying sound so basic in that they're in every student handbook. But when you look around at high schools today, it's not that common that all of those things are present in the environment to learn. And I can tell you, and I think all the students here tonight can tell you, that's absolutely the expectation in the bar at Vanguard. What's our expectations around the character here? You look around, there's 50 current students in the house tonight just to help you all get a better feel for Vanguard. That's a testament to how much these kids care about the school, how much they take from the school, how happy they are to tell all of you about their experience at this school. you look at the expectations that Bill and the staff put on the way you carry yourself, the way you are in public, the way you address each other, the way you talk with your teachers. I think Trevor hit on it. There is real dialogue here between teenagers and adults. And I think for me, looking back on my time here, there's nothing that prepared me better for going on in the next stage of my education than being able to transcend kind of those barriers of dialogue and really engage with all the different people you interact with on a daily basis here. And then the last thing, I think, is the expectations around our students' future. And I asked Mike in our meeting, I said, is our role here to help prepare our students to fulfill the dreams they have, or is our role to help them determine new dreams that they didn't even know that they should have? And his answer was both. And that really resonated with me. It really is true here that not only do we want to prepare our students to go excel and chase the dreams that they have, but we want to push them to expand their horizons on what they're capable of, what their dreams could be, what they could go on and accomplish, and then prepare you to do that. And if it doesn't exist, to Trevor's point, we'll make sure it exists so that your kids are able to expand their dreams and chase all of the dreams that they have. So that's all I have for you tonight. I'll be here, happy to answer questions. I'm very proud of the school. I wouldn't be where I am without it, and I owe a lot to many of the teachers and staff that are here tonight. So thank you, and go Vanguard.